1824. In a small Norwegian trading town of Skien, a major 19th century Norwegian playwright, theater director, and poet was born. His name, Henrik Ibsen.
Henrik Ibsen was a realist. He was known as the father of realism. He was also, by many, thought as the next Shakespeare, the Shakespeare of the 19th century.
He was the writer of many moving and well-known plays such as Peer Gynt, A Doll's House, Ghosts, An Enemy of the People, The Wild Duck, Hedda Gabler, and many other favorites. Some caused inspiration, some caused rage, some confusion, and some a new perspective upon the world. But what led to this? The story begins back when Henrik is born, March 20th, 1828, to Knud Ibsen and Marichin Altenburn, a well-to-do merchant family. His family history has consisted of many ship captains, but his father, Knud Ibsen, decided to switch things up and become a merchant. This, for a while, wasn't a terrible idea, but when Henrik was about 7 years old, his father's fortune took a significant turn for the worse, making the family go bankrupt. This forced them permanently to lose their major home in central Skien and move to their small summer house in Venstup outside the city. Knud then turned towards alcoholism and great bitterness and resentment to his wife and children. Eventually, the family moved to a city house in Snipetorn, owned by Knud Ibsen's half-brother, a wealthy banker and ship owner, Christopher Paus. Henrik's father's financial ruin would have a strong influence on Ibsen's later work. The characters in his plays often mirror his parents, and his themes often deal with issues of financial difficulty as well as moral conflicts stemming from dark secrets hidden from society.
A central theme in Ibsen's plays is the unremitting portrayal of suffering women, echoing from his mother, as his sympathy for women came from his understanding of their powerlessness.
At age 15, Ibsen was forced to leave school and move to a small town in Grimstad to become an apprentice pharmacist and begin writing plays. In 1846, when Ibsen was 18, a liaison with a servant caused him to have a child, who Ibsen paid for until the boy was in his teens, but never did he meet this child. By the age of 20, he attempted to go to university, but rejected the idea, preferring to commit himself to writing.
Due to financial problems, the 1860s were probably his hardest times, but at the same time, in 1862, he got married and he had a family and children, but he often tends to avoid to talk about them, which coincidentally, could that be possibly why he doesn't mention them often in his plays either?
In 1864, Ibsen left to Sorrento in Italy in self-imposed exile. He did not return for the next 27 years. With many failed attempts at writing a strong play, Ibsen in 1867 wrote Peer Gynt. With success, Ibsen became more confident and began to introduce more and more of his own beliefs and judgments into the drama. His next series of plays are often considered his golden age, when he entered the height of his power and influence, becoming the center of dramatic controversy across Europe. A plethora of grand plays were made, one after another, causing awe and appeal to the audiences, which eventually led up to one of his most well-known and controversial plays, A Doll's House, in 1879. A Doll's House was a play strongly encouraged by Henrik's life through the roles of the different characters in relation to his family members, financial issues, and men and women's marital roles. When the play, based on reality, was performed for an audience through a new perspective, it struck out scathing criticism and epic conflicts. And then Henrik did some other stuff, maintained his sexy sideburns, and then died on May 23rd, 1906. How sad.